In the late 90s, US Air had some deals on the weekends where every weekend they would offer up tickets to multiple places in the United States that were basically free, but let's just say they were $50 because I know they were never even $100, and you could fly long distances sometimes and take a trip, and you wouldn't know until like the Wednesday or Thursday hit of that week what the potential cities were, and then if you were interested you would just book your flight and go, and it was really an amazing thing. So I did that 4 or 5 times, and on one trip I must have had a layover in Minnesota because I'm in the Minnesota airport about ready to connect to another flight, so I go use the restroom, and who is taking a leak right to my left? Al Sharpton, the legendary, the infamous Al Sharpton. And he is taking a leak and he's talking on his cell phone. At the time they called them cell phones, now they call them mobile phones, but at the time it was a cell phone. And he was talking in the most, I'll just call it ghetto, because it was just ghetto trashy talk. It was total street talk. If you didn't see his face before you heard this person talking, you would be shocked. It was just the most unprofessional, and he's doing it loud, and everyone can see who he is at the time. I mean, he was about as famous as he ever got back then. I know he's had some ups and downs with fame, and he had his own TV show on MSNBC, but back then, I mean, like, anyone who was half paying attention to the current scene had to have known who he was. And I mean, he was talking so loud, and it seemed like he might have been talking to a woman, like even a romantic partner, but it was the most vile, nasty, just ridiculous, like embarrassing speech I've ever heard. And he had no shame. He was doing that out in the open. He had to know everyone that heard him was going to look at him, and it was the weirdest thing. And that's my brush with Al Sharpton.